Mount Fuji has now instated a dress code. That might sound a little weird, but it will make sense. First, I think it's important to talk about the other changes that have come to Mount Fuji this year. Well, in March, there was a lot of talk about the new 4,000 yen access fee, which was previously 2,000 yen. This was covered by more sites than I would have thought, as when I saw this earlier in the year, I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. Well, the price part I mean. Most of the articles do acknowledge the overcrowding problem, which I think is where the actual important part lies. When you think about Mount Fuji, you probably don't think about this. It is very clearly overcrowded, and that obviously ruins the mountain and the hikes. Not just from an aesthetics point of view, but literally from people dropping trash, losing things, going off trail, and much more. This isn't a new thing either. While these changes were made in the past year, there have been articles from 2023 that were addressing these issues, with mentions of harm to the local environment and stressing the local community. And in the same quote, there is mention of the possibility of losing the status of a Unesco heritage site, which I didn't even know that could happen. Besides the price, there's also more restrictions put in place to climb the mountain. Some of them are small, going from 4 p.m. to 2 p.m., but then there's requirements to register or reserve a spot to climb Mount Fuji, which previously you only had to do this if you were going to go at night. To jump to the current day though, what's happening now? Well, Mount Fuji has instated a dress code. Rangers have been given the ability to refuse entry to people that are inadequately dressed past the 5th station. The 5th station is basically where you go before the hike actually becomes a hike. And people underestimating that hike and not wearing proper clothing led to people needing medical attention and even rescues. Apparently, over 860 climbers have been instructed to purchase the right gear at the 5th station. And this isn't even that new. This problem with inadequately dressed climbers has been talked about since the 2023 articles about over-tourism. I do think these changes are pretty good considering the importance of Mount Fuji. I do wonder though when the restrictions and rules will end. How much does it take to stop over-tourism, and what will the restrictions look like in 5 years?